Welcome back to the Cuse Down. Syracuse basketball is 4-0 for the first time since 2017, which I couldn't believe when I heard that, actually. Because normally, in basketball, you start the season with a bunch of cream puffs, you beat up on them, you get fat, you feel good about yourself, and then you move on to the real schedule. But we've tripped up a bunch of times in recent years, and one of the first 4 games, apparently, because we've been not scheduling complete cream puffs. Like last year, our first loss was to Texas. The year before that, we lost to Tennessee. Year before that, lost to Colgate. That wasn't the time they hung 100 on us. That was actually the year before. That was the third game of the year before, and they hung 100 on us that time. It was the first time Colgate beat Syracuse since the 50s, and we played every single year. Well, Colgate got too good for us to schedule them. We schedule them every year for like 70 years, and then they beat us a couple times, and now we're dodging them, which I think is pathetic, but that's neither here nor there. So, Cuse basketball's 4-0. I said we were going to be freaking good in my prediction. I'm going to revisit my prediction, from a few weeks ago, and we're going to see what I said. We're going to go player by player, what I think of them so far after 4 games, what I expect for Houston, and yeah. So, huge stretch, huge game right here. Number 2, Houston. Kansas, probably not going to be ranked when we play them because they lost a couple games. Let me scoot over here. They lost a couple games, so they're probably not going to be ranked, but they're fucking Kansas. They're going to be loaded. They're going to have a lot of talent. And this actually is missing a game. We're going to play a third game that is yet to be determined in between this Kansas and Tennessee, here. So there's a week difference there. So we're going to get a third game on the 26th. And if we lose these 2, it's going to be a weak opponent. I think we're going to split. Like, Houston, don't want to get my hopes up. I think we've played well. We beat up 3 absolute cupcakes by huge margins, by 30 points, 40 points, 38 points, beat the shit out of them. Out of these bad teams that aren't going to sniff the tournament. None of these 3 teams are going to sniff the tournament. Neither is Monmouth, but they played us close. And everybody's really panicking over this Monmouth game, and maybe rightfully so. They did expose a few weaknesses. I'll go over what I thought about this game. We'll go over the box score. This Justin Ray guy was tearing us to shreds, but I don't know how replicable it is. He was just a little guard that got hot. That happens. I was actually more worried about this guy, even though the stats don't necessarily jump off the page. He had 18 points, 5 rebounds, 6 of 14, so not amazing, and he fouled out of the game. But this was a big guy. How tall do they have him listed? They got him listed at 6'9", 220. Skilled big guy. Gave us fits, gave us trouble. We got a skilled big guy that's not going to fall out of the game. These refs in this game had a really quick whistle, and it clouded over the whole thing, really. It made the game almost unwatchable. This was a very ugly game to watch just because they called so many goddamn fouls. Like, look at this. Their entire starting lineup was in foul trouble. Ours wasn't much better. Sadiq White played 11 minutes and fouled out of the fucking game because they were blowing the whistle at any sign of contact. It really was pathetic. 27 on them, 20 on us. That's 47 fouls called throughout the game. That's shit. That's like 1 every minute and fucking 15 seconds. That's horrible. But that's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to say what I thought of the game. And yeah, I mean, it's worrying that we didn't beat the shit out of this team. As you see, they're 1-3, 0-3 away. They're probably going to end up around 500, maybe a little above it, because they play in, I think they play in the CAA. Yeah. They play in the CAA, so they're going to get nice and fat on these teams down here. And they're going to win some games. Like, that was definitely the best opponent we've played so far. And I know people are like obsessing over, like, is this a quad 3 or a quad 4? We're thinking that, like, this game and maybe Drexel might move into a quad 3 win. It doesn't matter. I think if Cuse basketball gets to 24 wins, like top 5 in the ACC, regardless of like how many quad, like, we don't have to pay attention to the quads that much. The idea is to be a good enough team that we don't have to be on the bubble. Like, it won't even be up to a committee to decide if we're in or not. We'll just be talking about seeding. And I do think that our team is still good enough to get us there. So that was worrying because William Kyle has been pretty locked down on defense. We got William Kyle, Sadiq White. They'll guard the bigs on the other team. And in the first 3 games, they didn't do shit. But in the last one, we finally got a guy with some skill, and he made him look silly a couple times. So, there's a lot of talk. Like, obviously, Starling missed the first 3 games. He played in this. Like, the stats show that he was all right. 4 of 6, 2 of 5 free throws. But those 3 misses were so ugly. Like, I don't know what happens. Like, he gets injured. It was a lower body injury. It wasn't even like an arm injury. And his complete free throw form is just fucked. And I've seen he makes free throws at a decent clip in the past, so I do think that he's going to get back on track there. But I don't know. There's been a lot of calls to start Kiyan, and Kiyan's been really good. I thought going into the season that Kiyan was going to be like not that he was going to be, but my concern was that if he wasn't going to work out, it's going to be because he plays too selfishly, and he would be a ball stopper, and he wouldn't be a very willing passer, and his shot selection would be questionable, and he would turn the ball over more than he would make assists. And that is true still. He's got 2 turnovers, no assists. I'm not sure. He has a lot of assists, though. What is he averaging so far? 1.8? Yeah. He's gotten a few. He had 4 Delaware State, 3 Binghamton. He hasn't had any in the last 2, but that's neither here nor there. He's been a willing passer is where I'm going with this. It's not like he's been a ball stopper. The shot selection's actually been pretty good, and I was concerned about that going into the year. But no, it's been good. So, really high on Kiyan. Obviously, he's been so good in the first 4 games that people are calling for him to start over Starling, but Starling really needs a longer leash. This has been our best player the last 2 years. We can't just kick him to the curb because he looked like shit against Monmouth. And even the stats, they're not that bad. He still ended up outscoring Kiyan. Kiyan went 2 of 9. It didn't feel like 2 of 9. It felt like good shots to me. But 1 of 4 from 3. He's been pretty much the only one on the team who's been hitting threes. Got Nathan George was 2 of 3. That's nice. Starling was 1 of 1, yeah. That's what we need to see. He really should be around 1 or 2 attempts a game. That's good for Starling because he's not exactly a knockdown shooter. Kings was struggling going into this game. I think he was 1 of 7 going into this one. In the first 3 games, he only attempted 7 threes. And we got this guy to be our knockdown shooter. Like, he was supposed to be a big catch and shoot guy. He was kind of everywhere in this. He had a nice drive where he kind of got him on the fake and he drove baseline and he hit the reverse on the other side with his right hand, I think, and he's left-handed, which was nice. This was his best game for sure. But I've actually been really impressed with his defense. Nate Kings has played pretty good defense. We've put him on. I know it's against the CAA and against lesser competition, but we've put him on some guys and he's held up, which is good. So, how many points did they score at the free throw line? 20. They got 20 at the free throw line. I don't think that's representative of a typical game. We got a really bad referee crew. How many points did our other opponents get from the free throw? Wasn't nearly as many. Yeah, Drexel got 6. That's more what you'd see in a typical game. You're not going to get a lot of attempts. How many Delaware State get? Delaware State, 14, so they got a lot. And Binghamton, even less than that. No, maybe not. 16. I don't know. Point is, they called a lot of freaking fouls in that game, and it was really annoying to watch. So, yeah. We're going to play Houston. We're going to play Kansas. Right here, we have 4 opportunities to get, like, a big-time win. If we beat Houston, I think we are officially, even if we lose the other 3 games, I think we could say Syracuse basketball is officially back. We're back in the conversation. We're back in contention for, a good seed in the NCAA tournament. I'm not saying this team's going to win the national championship. I'm not even saying this team's going to win the ACC championship. I'm just saying they're going to be a good team worth watching. We beat Houston. We're back. Is Tennessee at home? Is this a neutral site or is this at home? No, this is at home. We beat Houston, even if we lose the other 2 games. This game's going to be packed for this. It's going to be packed for this Tennessee game. I don't know anything about the rosters of Houston or Kansas or Tennessee or obviously the mystery opponent that we don't know about. But I say in those 4 games, we go 2-2. That's pretty good. I would take 2, like right now, it's on the table. I don't care what the 2 wins are. The 2 wins could be Kansas, who's not going to be ranked, and the third opponent, who's probably not going to be ranked either. You can give us those 2 wins, and if we lose to Houston and Tennessee, who are both going to be ranked, then so be it. Then we get the next part of the schedule. Got to beat St. Joseph's. That's a good mid-major program. In fact, they're an A10 team. You might even argue that the A10 is not even a mid-major league. And in basketball, it's probably not. Really, that's kind of insulting to the A10 to call them a mid-major. They get more than one bid into the tournament. They're going to have like 3 bids, which, yeah. But they're down here towards the bottom. Like, you see all these teams that are 4-2, 4-1, 5-0, 5-0. Like, these are the real busters in the A10 that we don't want to play. We learned that the hard way a few years ago. St. Bonaventure knocked us off, I remember. Dayton beat us in the tournament. That was fucking 11 years ago now. So these teams down here we could probably get away with playing. St. Joe's doesn't look like they're that good. Who've they played? They beat Drexel. We also beat Drexel. They beat Lafayette. Lost to VTech. They got hammered by VTech. Lost to Penn. Lost to UNLV. Yeah, we should beat these guys. What is this? The Rutgers JV team? Rutgers Camden? It's funny. So yeah, we probably have an even better chance to win than that. So you got to beat St. Joe's, even if they're an A10 team. They're going to be a worthy opponent. Hofstra, Mercyhurst, Northeastern, Stonehill. Yeah. These all need to be wins. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If they don't go 5-0 here, there's a major problem. Probably not making the tournament, well, honestly. Like, it would be a really bad harbinger of things to come if we dropped any of these games. Doesn't mean that they're all going to be complete blowouts. They might have some skilled big guys that give us trouble, like Monmouth did. I know this only shows a 5-point game, but we had it well in hand. I think if we played this game 10 times, we're going to win all 10 of them. And this was about as close as they could play us. A lot of things that had to go right in their favor did. They shot the ball better than normal. Like, they made some tough shots in that game. And they got a lot. It was a quick whistle. Like, we left a lot of points at the line, and they pretty much cashed in most of their opportunities. So the score looked a lot closer than it was. They also made a run in the last few minutes to make it closer than like the game was. Because remember, we were up, 12 points with 4 minutes to go. And, we make our free throws, we end up winning the game by 20 instead of by 5. We just kept missing and kept giving them, we just gave them more possessions basically at the end. They extended the game with the fouls and kept it going, and they made it close. So anyway, yeah. Split these, beat the Cream Puffs, go into ACC play, and then if we can win 12 games, how many do we play? Is it 20? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Play 18 games. We win 11 of them. I think that's a good pathway to the tournament. We split these next 4. Then we win these 5 in a row. And then we get 10. We get 10 out of 18. So that's going to give us 10 losses. That's going to put us at like 20-10. We honestly I think we would need to win a couple ACC tournament games. So we really should be aiming for, like, now that I like have it in front of me, we probably need to go like 12-6 in ACC play if we split the next 4 and then beat the Cream Puffs. I think that's doable. It also helps that it's a soft start. Clemson, G-Tech, at Pitt, Florida State, BC, V-Tech, Miami. We don't play a ranked ACC team as of now until January 27th. So pretty late into the ACC schedule. So we can get some good momentum in these first 7 games. Like, we go 7-0 in these games. I'm not saying that we would. We'll probably drop a couple, even if we go like 5-2. That'll set us up pretty good. But like, I think this team is talented enough to run the table with these. Then when we start playing some better teams, like obviously on the road Duke, we don't even get them home this year. We just play them once on the road. We never beat North Carolina, so that's probably 2 losses right there. It doesn't even really seem to matter what kind of team they have. So like away Duke, probably a loss. North Carolina, probably a couple losses there. Virginia's never easy. Louisville's never easy. They're ranked 6th right now, so that's probably a loss there too. So we got like 5 or 6 most likely losses here in the back half of the schedule. Yeah, I think we can drop 6 or 7 ACC games. So let's actually revisit my predictions first. So in my preseason thread, my preseason thing here, I predicted that this is going to be the rotation, and I was a little off. I was a little wrong. Not wildly wrong. Again, it's tough to make a prediction with so many new players. Remember, we only have 2 returning players, so it's really just a crapshoot who is going to play where and for how long. Hold on, I'm just taking a screenshot here. Okay. I'm going to open up Photoshop and we are going to move some stuff around. I'm going to correct the record here. If Photoshop will open, that is. It'd be nice. Here we go. Okay. I'm going to open. Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to copy this. My mouse is going to lag. No, I'm going to do a new file. Clipboard. Okay. All right. So what was I wrong about? We needed to make a layer I can actually draw on. Okay. So Sadiq White has not been starting. In fact, he's been like our 8th man. He's been like down here. I was wrong about Diawara. He got, I think, a minute or 2 against one of the 3 cream puffs we beat by 1,000,000 points. He got some run at the very end of the game, and he looked awkward. The guy couldn't run. So, like, he's out. He's not going to play any meaningful minutes the whole season. There's no way. He's down here at the end of the bench. Bryce Zephyr we've used a lot more than I expected. Womack? Has Womack even gotten into a game? He had to have, because Noah Lobdell's gotten into a game. He got into, which one? One of our blowouts he played the last minute. But yeah, he's not a meaningful player either. So it's like Womack, Lobdell, Diawara. These guys don't play. They're non-factors. It looks like Fennell's out of the lineup. I didn't hate what I saw from him, but you know, when the rubber hit the road against Monmouth, he wasn't in the game. Now that JJ's back, that's another guard into the rotation. So Fennell's probably next on the bench here. He's basically taken the place of he has the role I thought Diawara would have. I thought he would be our backup center, Diawara, just because I thought Ibrahim here was too small to play that role, but we've proven that we're willing to go small ball. We don't need a center on the court. So Zephyr has jumped Fennell in the lineup. He's above Fennell. And Kings has been starting instead of White. And Kiyan's definitely been the 6th man. Betsy's been playing. He really is just a catch and shoot guy. I feel like as the season goes on, he's probably going to be the guy who drops down to the bench. But so far, he's been playing. So the lineup has been, we'll switch colors. Like our rotation is George, Starling, Freeman. Sadiq's in the rotation. So like Sadiq, William Kyle's been amazing. Nate Kings, Kiyan, excuse me. Soiree. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, those are our 8. He's been playing more than 8 so far, but I like to think that, you know, as the season tightens up, he's probably going to go to these 8 guys. That's what it seems like to me. Yeah, these are the original names, not the arrows that I drew. So, I guess we'll go player by player, what I've thought so far. Nathan George, like, the stats haven't been flashy, but they haven't had to have been. He's been getting a lot more assists than turnovers. We knew he was a really good playmaker, and how many alley-oops has he connected on already? More than I saw the entire season, like all year last year. He throws that alley-oop pass really well. Both Sadiq White and William Kyle can jump so fucking high. They just go up and get the ball and dunk it, and that's going to be a threat against any team. That's not even like a mid-major thing. That's just like, that's a hard pick and roll to defend. So, yeah. Starling, we need to see more. He's only played 1 game. He wasn't super aggressive in it either. Like, we need to see Starling getting to the rim, see him doing him things. Freeman, he's been awesome. He hasn't been as ferocious a rebounder as he was his freshman year, but It doesn't matter. He's been the guy who makes everything go on offense. He's been our best all-around player so far this year, and we wouldn't have beaten Monmouth without him. Really, I don't think we win. Like, maybe we do. Like, maybe somebody else steps up, but he was the guy who did it in this timeline. Nate Kings, there has been some chatter about benching him just because he hasn't shot the three especially well. I think he's now 4 of 14, which is a little more excusable. You just need more of a sample size with this. When you get a shooter on there and you say he's not shooting well with such a limited sample size, it's like, talk to me when he shot 50. When he's got 50 shots up, like 53s up, and he's only made like 14 of them then. All right. Like, yeah, get him out of the lineup at that point. But he's been playing solid defense, and we just need him to get more shots up before we can say definitively that he's not shooting well or playing well. Kiyan has been a revelation. He's been amazing. He's been our second best player through 4 games. I don't think anybody expected that. I didn't expect that anyway. Maybe like people who don't follow basketball and they just see that he's Carmelo's kid, and we think that Carmelo's kid's going to come in here just because he's Carmelo's kid and he's going to be amazing. I actually thought that Sadiq White was going to be more of an impact freshman. I mean, I had him starting. He hasn't been starting, and he's been kind of a ghost out there, but I think his moment will come. He's connected on a couple alley-oops, but if you look at the stat sheet, he hasn't really been stuffing it. And it's kind of just because he just hasn't gotten an extended run, His minutes have been pretty fragmented. Like, he'll get a minute there, a couple minutes here. So it's just hard to find a rhythm when you have such a short leash like that. He's obviously not going to be a force offensively. It seems like all he can really do on that end consistently now is dunk. I mean, he can jump out of the fucking building, so, like, that's one powerful dunk and a serious lob the other team needs to contend with, but it doesn't seem like... I think he had a 3, actually. Didn't he hit a 3 in one of the games? That's not his shot, but if it's open, like, in modern basketball, you got to take it. And he did hit it. He hit the one that he did, so good for him. But yeah, Sadiq, I mean, his roles, he's going to have some moments. Like, he's going to be good. There was a moment where he was on the really short guy. Which team had a team had like a really small point guard, and he got hit. Like, he switched onto him. He's got a foot on this guy. He's just harassing him 5 feet below the 3-point line. I almost felt bad for the kid. He just couldn't do anything. So yeah, he's been really good defensively against lesser competition. We need to see if he's more of a viable guy just through sheer athleticism, just to put him on defense and some of these guys that Houston or Kansas or Tennessee has. What else? Betsy hasn't shown that much. He's kind of just been a catch and shoot guy. He's then been out there for spacing, which is fair. It seems like they're going to Betsy over Fennell. I thought Fennell might have that role, but they see Fennell as more of a backup point guard, it looks like. Whenever he's been in the game, it's been in relief of Nathan George, and George is going to play 95% of the minutes, it seems like, and when he's not on the court, it looks like we're just going to do point guard by committee. It's going to be Starling, it's going to be Kiyan, it's going to be Nate Kings, Betsy if he's in the game, or Bryce Zephyr, actually, they've turned to, even in that role. So instead of splitting time, like, it seems like he's a backup point guard that we don't need this year. Unfortunately for him, because I'm sure he's a good player, but we're not going to see it this year. If we see it ever, he might leave. Modern college basketball, we have to expect that more of these players will leave than will stay next season. Who are seniors? I think, so like looking ahead to next year, it's like, I can't go back to red. We'll do blue. It's like Freeman's gone to the NBA. Like, he's gone. He ain't coming back. This is like we're going to lose him to the NBA. Starling's a senior. We lose him to eligibility. I don't know if William Kyle has another year after this. I think he might have one more. I'm not going to cross him out, but I know Nate Kings does not. I know Bryce Zephyr does not. Lobdell is a non-factor. I'll cross him off just because he doesn't matter. If we, honestly, since there's no walk-ons anymore, I would imagine they would want to use a scholarship on a player we could actually put in a game. So he's young. I don't know if he is a year or not. Could look it up, but I'm too lazy for that. I don't think Betsy is another year either. I know, okay. George doesn't either. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. Like before I even think about who might transfer, we're losing 7 guys. Yeah. It's really just like the whole team's going to be different. And I can't imagine the guys that aren't playing are going to want to come back. Like, is Womack going to come back? Probably not. I can't imagine he's ever going to play, honestly, at Syracuse. We're going to be able to recruit over him, I would imagine, in every cycle. Fennell, maybe not. Fennell might develop into our starting point guard next year. I could see that. If we bring back White and William Kyle, you'd be throwing lobs to them next year. Kiyan, I have no idea what to expect. He's a little small for the NBA is the thing. Like, he's been really impressive. He's averaging, 18 points a game. But it's when you're a skinny, like 6'3", 6'4", like whatever he is. When you're just a small guy like that who's not, he just needs to develop more physically if he's going to stand a chance in the NBA. I know that doesn't always stop players from leaving early, and you've got people like Bronny James, infamously was able to make the leap to the NBA just even though he was a non-factor in college. Just on name alone, Carmelo doesn't have that kind of pull. Like, let's face it, LeBron has a much more pull to get his son drafted than Carmelo does. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm still bullish on the Syracuse basketball season. I still think we're going to be very good. It's just that, we're going to learn a lot in these next 4 games. I wouldn't say this is make or break because we could still go 0-4 in the next 4 games. Like, let's play that scenario out in our head. We go 0-4. We lose to Houston, Kansas, the mystery opponent, and Tennessee. It would take the wind out of our sails so bad because we'd be 4-4. And that's not good. Like, in out of conference play, 4-4 college basketball these days, it's really bad. We take care of the next 5 cream puffs. We're 9-4 going into ACC play. And then if we finish in the top 5, I still think that gets us in. I still think if we go 12-6 in ACC play, even if we go 0-4 here, we got a decent shot. That's 21 wins. Maybe that's not enough to get it done. We would need some help in the ACC tournament, but we would be favored in the first round if that happens. So let's say we win one in the ACC tournament and we lose one. That's probably still not enough. That's 22 wins. But if we win 2 and lose 1, 23 wins? I don't know. I feel like a 23-win ACC team probably gets in. So, yeah. I don't know. I think that's probably the path. Like 23 wins, no matter how we get them, probably going to get us in. So, yeah, I guess that's my outlook. We have a lot to learn against the good teams because we've really only played trash so far. Is this St. Joseph's game a neutral site? Is that what this asterisk means? Where are we playing St. Joe's? Hold on, where are we playing them? The Thomas and Mack Center. I don't know what that is. Oh, it's in... Wait, really? It's in Vegas again? Wait a second. This is weird. So we're going to Vegas to play Houston, right? That's where these Houston and Kansas games are. MGM Grand Arena. They have 2 big-time stadiums in Vegas? Why? We're going to Vegas twice. I didn't realize that. We're playing at UNLV's stadium, it said, for the other one. Is that this one? This is where the Vegas Golden Knights play. This is T-Mobile, no. So we got the Thomas and Mack Center. Oh, this is the Thomas and Mack Center. Okay. The MGM Grand Garden Arena. Okay, so I'm very confused. Is this just the same place with 2 names? The Thomas and Mack Center and the MGM Grand Garden Arena. The fuck? It's not the same place. Where's the Thomas and Mack Center? Is it within walking distance? It seemed like it was right next to it. Oh, it's like right. That's ridiculous. We're playing two. We're playing two neutral sites in Las Vegas that are within walking distance. That's very funny. Why do they need two stadiums? There's two basketball stadiums right next to each other. That's hilarious. All right, well, I didn't realize that. That's very funny. They're giving us a 10% chance to win this game. I feel like it might be a little better than that. I would go as high as like 25. I think 1-4. It's basketball. Weird things happen. Houston's probably a much more talented team. I know they're ranked number 2. They probably just have more. I heard that they have 3 guys on their team that are probably going to be first-round picks this upcoming year. We don't have anything like that. Donnie Freeman, I think he's got a good chance. We haven't had a first-round pick in a while. When was the last time Syracuse had a first-round pick? Syracuse basketball first-round picks. Was it Leiden? It couldn't have been Leiden. He couldn't have been the last one. I'm about to find out. So let's see. This isn't sorted by year. All right, what the fuck's going on here? Elijah Hughes. He was a second rounder, though. It was Leiden. Wow. We have not had a first-round pick since 2017, dude. That's fucking crazy. Man, that's actually insane. I don't know why Vaughn Harper, this guy from the 60s, comes up first. Or how he got picked twice. He was in the draft twice. I mean, good on you, Vaughn Harper. But, man. That's like, man, I can't believe it's been that long. The 2017. It was fucking Leiden. He did not deserve to go in the first round. He was not an NBA player. Everybody knew it coming out. I don't know how he got picked. Malachi, Chris McCullough, Tyler Ennis. Look at this streak we had, though. 2017, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. We had 3 guys get drafted in 2012. 2 of them in the first round. We had guys getting drafted every year. In 2017, it stops, and we only had 1 since then. And he was in the second round. He wasn't even like a real pick. And then even skipping 2010, it's like we got 2 in 2010, or skipping 2011. We had 2 in 2010, 1 in 29, 8, 7, 5, 3, yeah. Then we go back to before I remember, so. Yeah, just you want to see the downfall of the program, here it is. We're just not putting guys in the NBA anymore. All right, well, I think I've droned on long enough. Tune in next time after, I don't know. If there's something interesting, maybe I'll analyze. Maybe I'll do an emergency we win stream if we beat Houston, but we'll see. I've droned on long enough.